Hello everyone.
We are Mashallah Fun, and today we're finally coming with the new video format, which is...
And what do you want me to do? When I do this, you start talking. Hola todos. Hello everyone.
Top 3 silliest drivers of the weekend. We are really grateful that you voted in the poll for new video formats, including this one. We're the fun couple that provided a series of meme compilations. We're really glad you enjoyed them, and we will continue to post and edit these meme compilations. But in the meantime, we also came up with this new format, which is, again, I'm reminding you, top 3 silliest drivers of the weekend.
But first, we have to mention something really exciting that happened this weekend, and that is...
It was Lando Norris's first ever Grand Prix win.
Yay!
Yeah, we're really happy for Lando, and all in all, it was an amazing performance. Really lucky with the safety car, but he had the pace. He was coming at around 6 seconds in front of Max by the end of the race. And yeah, he's finally done it. He can happily retire now and end his career on a high. Right, let me explain how the rules go for this new video format. We watched a lot of the interviews, we watched a lot of media day footage, as well as
We didn't.
as well as a lot of radio post-race, during the race, and so we're going to come up with a single score for these top 3 drivers based on those media interviews, as well as the race pace and the race results. Right, now let's get straight to the top 3 silliest drivers of the weekend. And I'll get to my dorky girlfriend.
Well, P3 for me, as one of the silliest drivers, is actually the winner of the Grand Prix, Lando Norris. The little Lando Norris had a little party.
Shall we go to Amsterdam tonight? Amsterdam?
On a boat on the canals of Amsterdam, celebrating King's Day, and he came to the Grand Prix with a little scratch on his nose. His nose was actually the star of the weekend. In many interviews, Lando was mentioning this party.
Yeah, I relaxed, I had a good time.
But what happened with the nose? You still have something on it?
Yes, just a little cut.
And he was joking about it. I had a little nose job.
Bandage on his nose.
Yeah, what is that?
Just a little accident, nothing more than that. I had a nose job.
And also, after the win, he mentioned how he'll go all the way through, and maybe he'll have even more scratches on his nose.
Yeah, something worse than the nose jump he had.
Yes.
I mean, I was meant to fly, but Zach just told me we fly tomorrow, so I'm not going to sleep. I'm going all the way. I might have more than just a scratch on my nose tomorrow, so I don't care.
Also, I saw some memes where people were noticing a pattern that F1 drivers have to get injured in order to get a win. Like Carlos had his appendix out before winning in Australia. I'm excited. I want to see who's the next driver to get injured.
Lovely. Yeah, we hope maybe for a Charles Leclerc situation where he finally wins after a couple of years. But he might get both. He might get his appendix out as well as partying too hard and getting a nose job. I feel like if he gets both, then maybe
he gets bitten by his new
dog. Yeah, that'd be lovely.
But I want to mention something about Norris. He got fined this weekend.
Ah, exactly. Yeah, he did by a very peculiar incident as well.
He just talked on the track.
Exactly, he had the DNF right during the sprint race.
Yes.
And so little Lando had a stroll.
Yeah, had the most expensive op on the track. Well, totally worth it.
Yeah, totally worth it, as it meant he could finally win a Grand Prix race during Sunday.
Release your neck. Take your right ear towards your right shoulder.
That's very good for me. One of the most important things is to never get injured.
Never get injured.
You can't ever have injuries, so stretching is super important.
what about my number 3? I've gone for Carlos Sainz, actually. Lando's best friend on the grid.
Lando.
Exactly. And my reasoning for that, behind that, is that he was really hilarious by the end of the race when Carlos was fighting with Oscar. With Oscar, Sainz was not happy. As per Carlos's radio, he thought that Oscar gained the position illegally while he was already in front.
No, it's just unfair. I'm leading, he wants to pass, he pushed me, I push him back, and after he pushed me off the track. It's not fair.
But the stewards didn't really investigate the situation.
So it was just a racing incident.
Yeah, a racing incident.
But tell McLaren,
Yeah,
tell him.
exactly. So that's why I put him on number 3, is because his radio was really funny. He was really angry. You could tell.
Just tell him to give me a position. He doesn't get a penalty.
Understood. We are working it. Checo 1.0. Checo 1.0. Understood.
Give me a position and they don't get a penalty.
And therefore, in my books, that accounts as being silly, because if he gives me the position back, there will be no penalty, as if he was the one to give penalties, and it was really funny. He seemed in the moment like a mafia boss about to rain his fury onto Oscar, and he cooled down after the race, of course, shrugged off the whole incident, but it was really funny during the moment, so that's why Sainz is number 3 for me. Now on to number 2.
My number 2 is K-Man. He was fighting Hamilton like a beast. During the sprint, he was defending Nico.
Yeah, that until Nico finally went off and got out of K-Mag's DRS.
He got 3 penalties or something like that, 20 seconds.
Yeah, I think it was 30 actually. He got half a minute of worth of penalties, which is incredible. I feel like Magnussen at this point is becoming the new Ocon when it comes to penalties.
Yeah, but Magnussen was aware of it.
Yeah, they were fair. All the penalties were fair, but I had to do my thing to protect Nico, make the space.
And interestingly, Hamilton was not angry on Magnussen. He
was quite understanding of the situation. He knew what K-Mag had to do, so he wasn't really angry.
And he said it was fun.
I don't have we had a good race. It was a little bit on the edge in some places, but that's what I love. I love racing hard.
Yeah, surprisingly, it feels like Lewis really enjoyed this weekend.
He seemed finally happy.
Yeah, kind of, let's say, but yes, happier than previous weekends, that's for sure.
And also, during the race, Magnussen got another penalty for taking Sargent out. Well, it seems like whatever happens, if Magnussen is involved, he's the one to be penalized.
Yeah, K-Mag couldn't catch a break this weekend. It was really funny, and that's why I fully support your K-Mag Silliest driver at number 2.
Thank you.
Right, I've gone for Yuki Tsunoda as my second Silliest driver of the weekend. And don't get me wrong, Yuki had an amazing weekend. It was a bit of a roller coaster for Yuki with his sprint quality and then getting some points. That felt a bit silly for me. Danny Rick's weekend was also silly, but at least Danny Rick didn't have a silly moment during media day where they were catching American footballs. To me, that moment gives Yuki the second place because he was just hilarious. The way he stuck them under his shirt.
Yeah.
And made a fool out of himself, but it was very funny. He was hilarious during that, so that's why he's my number 2.
Well deserved.
Daniel won.
Just to raise my hand. Like I won, you know?
Like this?
Just like this.
Okay.
You know? Thank you.
Alright, and now we're going to the first place. The silliest driver of the weekend.
Maybe you should say it because...
Okay, yeah. So mine is actually Kevin Magnussen, because I felt like he was the silliest out of them all.
You shall not pass.
Yeah, exactly. He battled really fiercely with Lewis, and he's got plenty of penalties during the weekend. I think he's really close to getting a race ban as well. I'm not entirely sure how many penalty points he has to reach those 12 needed for a race ban, but he's really on the verge of getting there. And so even though he was fully aware, like you said, of what he had to do, it was still a very silly weekend for him, grabbing all those penalties, and that's why he's my number 1.
Not the way I want to go racing, but what I had to do.
What about yours?
If Max didn't win the race, he surely did win my first Silliest driver award.
Tell me, why is that?
Well, I think in the interviews and also in the media, he was really silly. Starting with his reaction to sprint qualifying when he was just like, lol.
Yeah, I think that's it. That's P1 Max.
Lol. What happened to the others? This was terrible. I mean, I'll take it, but yeah.
What happened to others?
Right, that was
I am
hilarious.
terrible, so...
Yeah, he really thought he had a really bad sprint quality, and then he finds out he's pole again during...
Yeah, at this point, it's just too easy for Max. He's having a bad weekend and still getting on pole.
Exactly, and then he goes lol. As if he's in an online chat, you know, like playing something with the others. Yeah, it was really funny. What else? What else?
During the race, he just drove over the cone and taking it out, and also his reaction was so silly because in the conference after the podium, he was just saying he didn't like it. I mean, it was bothering everyone, so he just
took it out
and also tested the strength of the front wing.
The cone at turn 15, what happened there?
I didn't like it, so I decided to take it out and test the durability of the front wing as well. So that's a crash test done. Yeah, there was no damage. The cone was out of the way for everyone, so it was basically free for all after that.
I feel like it's been a pattern with Max whenever he's doing some silly stuff on the track or off the track, he justifies it with a joke. Or
yeah, he's very sarcastic.
Yeah. And that's hilarious. And he's done one more thing, I think, that you might want to mention.
It was a joke, maybe not everyone understood, but it was also very silly when asked about what if there was no safety car, or what if, and he was just...
I feel like he was fed up with all these questions about what if, yeah, and what did he do?
Well, if my mom had balls, she'd be my father.
I mean, it's always if, right? If my mom had balls, she would be my dad, so... Yeah. Yeah, I mean, it's how it goes to racing. Sometimes it works out for you, sometimes it doesn't.
And now I understand why he's your number one Silliest driver of the weekend. I feel like it might have been also a Dutch phrase to say, we're not sure. Maybe he said it in English and it didn't work out.
Translated is now.
Yeah,
maybe
yeah.
he's... Because Max has sometimes good jokes, but sometimes his jokes don't land.
Don't like exactly.
So that meme that I'm so smart and funny in my first language, you just don't know it. It applies to him.
Yeah, you're right. If we would have a category for team principals being silliest during the weekend, I think we both know who'd win it.
Fred Dasseur would win every time.
Exactly what I was about to say. And the reasoning behind that is...
This weekend, when they were catching footballs, American footballs, he was with Gunther.
Yeah, it was with Gunther trying to catch
Gunther, yeah, and...
It was hilarious.
It was hilarious.
The way...
Pushing Gunther and catching that ball.
Yeah, the way Fred does interviews, he seems like a really serious, really composed man. And then you see him doing stupid stuff like spraying... water guns at each other or spitting on Carlos.
This weekend he was spraying the McLaren team.
And he had the McLaren cap as well, and so he's really...
Quite enjoying the win, the McLaren's win.
Exactly, yeah. So he wins, let's say, our team principal, Silliest team principal of the weekend.
Yeah.
Bam! Artistic, this one.
Maybe we should include this category.
Yeah, maybe we should. You're right. Yeah, that concludes our top 3 Silliest drivers of the weekend at the Miami Grand Prix. We hope you enjoyed it. We sure did. It was a lovely weekend again. Lando winning was and still is unreal. Really happy for him.
Even Max was happier to see someone else winning than himself. Oh, one more moment for Max in the cooling room, when he saw the replay on
Right.
on the first turn, or
With Checo, yeah.
his face was so funny.
Yeah, it's always funny seeing Max doing these spaces wherever there's a crash or there's a really tight situation during the race. The Max podcast didn't disappoint this weekend as well. Right, we'll be back in 2 weeks' time for the Imola Grand Prix, and let us know if you have any silly moments from your favorite drivers this weekend, and let us know what you think of the format, and if you liked it, if you guys maybe thought that we need to change something. We'd be really grateful and open to all of your suggestions, and looking forward to it. See you. Bye bye.
Thank you guys. See you.